In today's video, we're going to be going back into the world of Twinkly and their festoon lights. So let's get on with it. Roll titles! Welcome to the channel if it's your first time here, and welcome back if it's not. Now yes, in today's video we're going to be looking at the Twinkly Festoon. Now you might be thinking, hang on Kip, you've done a video about the Twinkly Festoon before. I have. I've done 2 videos about the Twinkly Festoon. I had a set of 40 of them and I did a video about setting them up and installing them, and then they failed on me, and I did a little sort of Fix It Friday video to see if I could work out what the problem was, and using the advice from Twinkly if I could repair them. And I couldn't. It didn't work out particularly well. And after that, I sent the faulty lights to Big Clive to have a little look at the Twinkly lamps and how they work and how they failed. And he made a great video about it, which I'll stick a link to up there. So yeah, as a result of it, Twinkly said, don't worry Kip, we'll send you a brand new set of Twinkly lights, scrap off the old ones, and you can use these new ones. So that's what they did. Now you might notice that this is only the 20 lamp version. What they've actually done is they've sent me 2 lots of 20 rather than a 40 set, and that's because the 40 sets they didn't have in stock, and rather than make me wait for ages for them to come in stock, they just sent me 2 lots of 20. So that's very kind of them. So here they are. So I thought in this video today I would unbox these and we can have a little look at the wiring layout and how it all might work. And also I'm going to have a little look inside to see if they've replaced the gaskets, because one of the things that they sent me to try and repair my old set in the first instance were replacement lamp boards and new gaskets. And it'll be interesting to see if these have got the new or old gaskets in. I hope they've got the new ones in. So yes, these are the Twinkly Festoon 20. Obviously my ones come with a UK plug, but you can buy these around the world and they'll come with a plug suitable for your region. So yeah, 20 multicolored app controlled RGB bulbs, Festoon. Now I believe you can get these in a white flavour as well, so they only do white lights. These will do white lights, but it's using RGB to make the white, so it's perhaps not as a cleaner white. So if you're not interested in colours, it might be a good idea to get just the pure white version, but because I like to make my garden look funky, I quite like the colours, but it's up to you really what you get. Decoration lights not suitable for household illumination. What? Don't use them to light your house, just use it to be decorative. In a domestic environment, this product may cause radio interference, in which case the user may be required to take adequate measures. I don't know what measures I'm meant to take. I've not taken any measures before, so I've got 2 children. Anyway, right, so what does it say on the back here? So it's powered by Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So this can connect to your home Wi-Fi network. That's how I've got my lights set up. And also it can create its own Wi-Fi network if you don't have Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi doesn't reach out to wherever they're going to be. It's sort of, I think it uses Wi-Fi direct, but in the short term it uses Bluetooth for the setup procedure. It doesn't actually stay Bluetooth forever. I think it uses Wi-Fi. I think it uses Wi-Fi once the lights are set up. Bluetooth is just used while you're setting them up. So it says that it's 10 meters and 32.8 feet. Apparently there's 50 centimeters between each lamp, and it has 20 G45 LED bulbs. It's rated to IP44. Those are its operating temperatures, which it shouldn't hit here in the UK. Now something that's really cool with Twinkly lights, especially if you've got lots of them, is you can map them. It uses your phone's camera to work out where the lamps are in relation to other lamps, and you can do all sorts of different effects. But these are going to be running in a string along a fence, so I don't really need to map them like that, because just the colours running along will be fine. But if you have lines and lines of these, like demonstrated here, you can actually use the camera in the app, scan all the lights, and it will make all the patterns go across beautifully. I did something about that when I did the Twinkly curtain lights, which I'll stick a link to up there. Those are amazing. I do love the Twinkly curtains. So yeah, let's get it out of the box. There we go, it says Twinkly Generation 2. Actually, before I crack open this, please do give this video a like and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I've got a lot of twinkly content already, I've got a lot of Hue content already, I've just got lots of general techie, nerdy stuff that I reckon you'll probably like. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon and you'll get a notification of whenever I publish a video, which is most weeks. So yeah, let's look in the box now. Okay, so this is the Twinkly Generation 2 Festoon. So it comes with a little card thanking you for your purchase and some twinkly stickers as well, just for fun. It's got some instructions in various languages. Yeah. Not much to it. Most of the control and setup is all done through the app and it guides you through it. So you don't really need the instructions. They're just more for noting. Okay, so here is our power brick. As I say, this is a UK one. If you're in Europe or America, then yours will probably look a bit different to this. So this is rated IP44. Even though it's IP rated, I do stick this into a waterproof enclosure. I'll stick a link in the description to the waterproof enclosure that I use outside, and it's actually been really good and not let any water in. And that's what I plug these into. So it whacks out 24 volts at 1.5 amps and 36 watts. And it's got this 2-pin connector on the bottom and this kind of threaded thread here. So this looks like all our lamp. Now, something I didn't like about the 40 Festoon variation of this, that was that the wiring was sort of Y-shaped. So you had the main power coming up to the lights and it forked off with 20 in one direction and 20 in the other direction, rather it being a long run of 40 lamps. So that did make the setup of these a little bit, not annoying, but a bit more complicated, because you just couldn't have a whole run of 40, but these don't do that. Because there's only 20 of them, then there's not a problem. So what have we got here? Right, undo this Velcro. Okay, so this is the brains of the operation. This is the Twinkly controller, and this contains the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, and also communicates with all these lights to tell them what they should be doing. And on the other end of that is the 2-pin power connector with the twisty lock on here that will go into our power supply. And I will plug it in now. It's keyed, so it only goes one way round. Perfect, there we go. And you twist that up to make a hopefully watertight connection. But as I say, I wouldn't have this outside. I'm going to keep it tucked away. So how long is the bit of cable here from the end of the plug to the beginning of the controller? I'm going to guess probably about 1 meter. Now, when I did the Twinkly curtain video, I was talking about keeping this controller tucked away inside the enclosure as well, so it didn't get water on it. Apparently they are waterproof, but again, it's only to IP44, so because there's not masses of cable from the plug to here, I would keep it under wraps and safely tucked up. Okay, so you've got about 88 centimeters from the plug here to the connector here. And then coming out of the controller here is a long cable, longish, which goes to our lights. Interestingly, and also worth noting, they haven't actually fully tightened up this connector here, so double check that before you install yours. So I guess now I will measure how much length we've got between the controller to this connector here. It's actually a lot more length than I was expecting. That's what she said. It's about 337 centimeters from the end of the controller to this first connection here, which is pretty good. And then apparently, according to the box, there is about 50 centimeters from lamp to lamp, and each lamp has got one of these little holders on them, which is quite handy for mounting, which I use them. Let's see if that 50 centimeters is accurate. Well, not on this one. It's about 56 centimeters. Let's try the next one along. No, I mean, that one's about 57 centimetres. So yeah, when they say it's 50 centimetres, it's not a very fixed 50 centimetres. It's around 50 centimetres. This is the interesting bit. Well, hopefully this is all interesting, actually. Let's crack this open and see if we can see what rubber gasket it's got inside it. So you just untwist these slightly and then the head comes off. Ah yes, look, it's got that improved red rubber gasket. The older ones were black and a lot thinner. And yeah, that's got the chonky boy red gasket. So hopefully these shouldn't let any water in. There we go, our twinkly lights are on. The controller has got its green light flashing, and I guess what we need to do now is go into the app and add them so we can control them. So what I'll do is I'll make it so you can see my screen over here, and I'm in the Twinkly app in the Devices tab, and we have to press the Add button up in the corner here. There we go, so it's asking what type of Twinkly I've got. So I've got the Generation 2. Press and hold the button until the status LED is greenish blue. Okay, there we go. Oh, boom, it's found it. Excellent. I'm going to set it up so it's on the home Wi-Fi. You can set it up so it uses its own Wi-Fi, but I want it to be on the home one, so I'll do that. So it's looking for our Wi-Fi, and because it's set up in the app already, it knows what Wi-Fi I use and the password, so I don't need to do anything. Obviously, if this is the first time you're setting it up, then you'll have to choose your own Wi-Fi network and put in the password. So I'll just click connect. Aha, there we go. It needs to do a firmware update. So what I'll do is I'll let this go through the firmware update. While it's updating, I'm going to shout out all those people who have joined the channel. Joining the channel costs from 99p a month, and you get some nice little benefits for doing so, but also by joining the channel, you help support it financially, and it means that I can buy twinkly lights or, well, pretty much everything you see on this channel. So if you like my content, then please do consider joining and improving the channel. So let's let this firmware update, and while it is, I'm going to shout out all those awesome people who've already joined. Right, let's rattle through this really quickly because there's not much time. We've got our Kip fans who are Matt Lovey's JRC Electrical, For the Burbs, Mark C, Wayne Cornish, Mike Cass, Rob Lynn, Tony Arnold and Scott Made a Thing. Then we've got the incredible early birds who are Roberta Grosson, Dean Ball, Sean at Cablesmith Electrical, Wayne's Retro World, Tim Salt and Sorcerer Stan. Then we've got our pair of Kip lovers who I love very much, and they are Bella Webster and Stez Sticks Flippin' Fix. And then here she is our gorgeous Kip Nutter. She's still here, and that is Becky Boobar. Thank you so much, Becky, and all my other channel members. There we go. The lights are all updated, and it's asking for their new name. So I'm going to call them decking, because they will be the lights that are on our decking. There we go. Right, I don't need to map the lights because, as I say, they're going to be in a long run, so they're already technically mapped for that already, so we can skip that bit. So now it's connected to the Twinkly servers, it knows what kind of lights these are, and it's pulled down all the available light settings that these lights can have, and they're shown here. Now I've turned off all the studio lights so we can get a better look at these lights. So I'm going to put them on, what about up and down? And if you want to send a setting to the light, then you just hit the apply button and that will set it. So when the lights go on, it will be using this particular setting. But this is just a sort of way of seeing all the different light settings. So let's do kit, bit of Night Rider action. Obviously when the lights are strung out, then you get a much better idea of the effect. They're just sort of chucked on here at the moment, so it doesn't look as good. But we'll show you them set up in the garden. Nice. Then what about 24K future? Wow, there we go. This is quite a nice Christmas one. We had this set up in our garden at Christmas. Sort of very twinkly and, you know, pretty. About some cotton candy. Cool. Okay, well that's the lights sort of in theory, but should we get them up and outside in practice? Now, because I had a set of these up on the decking already, I've got the hooks there and I should just be able to hook these new ones on. But yeah, I'll stick a link into the description, some really good hooks that I found for these lights that I think you might like as well. They are really nice, and I actually used them to hang up the curtain lights in the other video. I don't have them out on the deck yet, but I will soon, I think, because they're better than the ones I've got. So yeah, let's go outside, get these installed, and have a little look at what they look like when they're all strung out nicely. Okay, so you just saw me putting the lights up on the time lapse, and it's a little bit later now, and obviously all the lights that I put up go along here, and these ones along here are the old set. At the moment they're on the same sequence, but I want to link them together so they'll be seen as one set of lights, but we'll do that in a moment. So what I'll do is I'll make it so you can see my screen up here, and I'm in the Twinkly app. And yeah, we can set our lights at the end to some different modes now. So this one's called Bright Tribe. Now you might notice that the lights are actually sweeping in the opposite direction to what they are on the screen. And that's because that's just how Twinkly works out of the box. The light settings go from left to right. You can remap them to make it go the other way, but I'm not overly bothered. It doesn't make much difference to me. So let's try a different one. Let's try a little bit of Molten Rainbow. I like it. Do a bit of Pulse. Cool. And let's try that kit one that we were looking at earlier. Night Rider, Eat Your Heart Out. Okay, so now we want to group them together so they're doing the same thing at the same time. So if we press on the icon in the top corner up here, the chain icon. So you've got different options. You've got join multiple Twinklies into one big virtually connected Twinkly, ideal for decorating a large object. Sync, yeah, I think that's probably what we want. Or we can do area. And I think area is what we did when we set up the curtain Twinkly. So we'll do a sync. So we'll choose our two sets of lights, create, and then we'll just call it a round fence. There we go. So if we go into our settings now, we've got a range of different settings. So we can have a colourful snake. We can have a bit of vintage. So now we can look at the settings here. So you can put the lights on a timer. So at the moment I've got the timer set from 6 PM, turn off at midnight. Midnight. You can alter the brightness. So if you want to dim them right down so they're not as garish, you can do that. And then you can just, if you wanted to, just set them to different colours. And it's all instant. It's so incredible. Love it. Well, there we go. I'm so happy with how the lights look. It's good to have them back, and I'm really, really grateful for Twinkly for sending the replacements. Just got to wait for the weather to get better now, and we can sit out here and enjoy it. But anyway, I've hoped you've enjoyed this video on the Twinkly Festoons. I certainly have. If you have, then make sure you drop a like below. But yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to say, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but for now, it's game over.